What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back to another Resplendent review. This time I'm going to be taking a look at Resplendent Tiki, and this is going to be a comprehensive analysis and review of her, how she does in the modern times and what kind of builds you could run right now. And at the end I'll also have a bonus section as always, so I hope you guys do enjoy. FEH Pass is not free, but leaving a like and subscribing if you do enjoy these Resplendent review videos is certainly free. So that said, let us begin.
I thought it'd be fun to try on a new outfit. How's it look?
Young Tiki is a Gen 1 5-star locked unit who was actually present on the very first banner of the game, and she's come a long way. Resplendent version can definitely help her quite a bit with her balanced stat spread. She can definitely utilize all of the extra stats, and Tiki's attack stat isn't really all that great for modern standards, so any kind of boost to it is definitely going to be helping a lot. And at max investments, speed IV is definitely going to be something which you always want to go for in my personal opinion, so the extra speed can also help you with that for the max investment builds. And the extra bulk is just going to be pretty amazing as she's mainly going to be functioning as an enemy phase dragon. She does have a preferred weapon in Breath of Fog, which is a 16 might weapon effective on dragon units, and it also has renewal built into it. And the refined version basically gives you +5 attack and defense if you're within 2 spaces of a sword or a dragon ally. Breath of Fog, unfortunately, in my personal opinion, does pale in comparison to Pale Breath from Enna, which is an inheritable breath. So compared to this, Pale Breath also gives you +5 attack and defense, but it also has much easier conditions to meet. You can be within 2 spaces of any kind of ally. It doesn't have to be a sword or a dragon unit like Breath of Fog, and it also neutralizes penalties to attack and defense during the combat. And this is really helpful in a metagame where debuffs are so common. And just today we got the trailer for the Pelagian Festival banner, which has inheritable weapons that can just double up your debuffs pretty much and snowball into them. So this kind of debuff negation in my personal opinion is pretty strong. Now, I could see Breath of Fog's effective damage against dragons being pretty helpful in something like Arena Assault, so that's really great. But honestly, as a weapon for long-term usage, it's not really all that good because Renewal isn't the greatest effect. We do have Mystic Boost if you want more consistent healing. And the Refine also does not really help too much for someone like Tiki, who's a Gen 1 unit, and the restriction of bringing a sword or a dragon unit can be annoying at times because by bringing a dragon unit, you're going to be having another unit who's going to be weak to dragon effective weapons, and by bringing a sword unit, you're going to be having 2 red units, which might not be ideal in all scenarios. It's not the hardest thing to do, but it could have been a bit more flexible, kind of like Pale Breath. So Young Tiki just has better inheritable options in my personal opinion. Breath of Fog doesn't really age all that well. In general, dragon units have fallen from their grace because we have just so many dragon effective weapons and so many dragon slayers that can be really hard for them. Tiki, while she is a 5-star locked dragon, compared to other Red Infantry Dragons, she's still pretty fairly unique, I would say, because she's the only one with workable speed stat. Sothis is the fastest one with 39 base speed. She also has an exclusive special, but outside of Sothis, pretty much all of these dragons are slow tanky dragons. So Tiki can actually stand out a bit, but it's really hard to do that on unmerged or low merged because she is a Gen 1 unit, so she will definitely take a lot of merges to really shine with her stat spread, which can be very expensive because you will have to save up hundreds of orbs if you want a +10 merger. Enna is still gonna be the choice for a lot of people to build up because of her defensive stat spread. It's just so good and min-maxed, and she can also function as a score stick in Arena. Garen still has to get a weapon refine, so who knows what kind of weapon refine he would get. And for adult Tiki, it's even worse because she's kind of facing competition from Bantu, and she's also facing competition from other slow dragons. If you have FEH Pass, then you can get a guaranteed 5-star copy of Young Tiki, and for many people this might be their first 5-star copy of her if they haven't really summoned her. So here are some of the budget builds that you could run on her. Because of Breath of Fog, she makes for an excellent budget unit in my opinion to be used in something like Arena Assault or just for dragon slaying. So you could go with a double sturdy stance build, and for Arena Assault you could easily run Triangle Adept and Axe Breaker to deal with a lot of the Axe Armor units. And because she does have Renewal built into her breath, you could stack it up with Renewal Slot B and Sacred Seal and basically work as a medic, similar to what Marth can do with his Falchion. So you could run Ardent Sacrifice or Reciprocal Aid to basically heal up your allies with a passive healing. Not the most consistent or not the most unique thing that you could do, but still an option nonetheless. You could also go for Lightning Breath, Now, sadly, unlike adult Tiki, she cannot really switch to Lightning Breath. She will have to have it inherited, so you will have to spend 20,000 feathers, but if you're willing to do that, then that could be run on budget with a Res Refine and pretty much going with an enemy phase build. And now we move on to the max investment builds for the Tiki enthusiasts. So you could go with a speedy build on Tiki. As I said, in my personal opinion, if you're going for max investment on Tiki, then speed should be the boon that you should focus on. And even with Breath of Fog, she can definitely get pretty fast with like lull attack speed, joint drive speed, and a speed stance skill. But if you don't really want to go with that speed build, then you could also just go with plus attack IV, have Pale Breath for the debuff negation, as well as the extra attack and defense, which is much easily accessible than Breath of Fog, and also can give you more extra bulk. And to make up for the healing, you could run Mystic Boost Sacred Seal. The good old Warding Breath, Lightning Breath combo can also work. In my opinion, Warding Breath is a bit better on Tiki, especially because Legendary Ike isn't really all that good. Brave Ike is still a pretty good unit, so that's why I would suggest Warding Breath. Pale Breath can also be used with a speedy build with Distant Counter, and you could also run her with Null Follow-Up because she does have pretty high speed, so you could utilize that productively to just cancel out all of the auto follow-up skills, so that could be pretty helpful. You could also run Special Spiral with Pale Breath and Distant Counter to basically retaliate back with Bonfire, and Tiki's Bonfire can definitely do quite a good amount of damage, so that could be run either with Mystic Boost Sacred Seal for self-sustain, or even with Attack Defense Solo or Sturdy Stance Sacred Seal. Again, if you don't really like the speed investment on Tiki and you have already chosen plus attack IV, then a tier 3 stance skill in something like Mirror Stance or Bracing Stance can be comboed up with Dragon's Ire. Dragon's Ire is basically a better quick riposte that can also help you get past stuff like impact effects, which can be really good. So it's highly recommended for a max investment build. And you could also run a tier 3 stance skill in Kestrel Stance with a speedy Tiki, and go with lull attack resistance or lull attack speed, so that could be used to have a speedy Tiki, and this Lightning Breath build is in my opinion the ideal one if you want to go for, and the speed stacking can also be pretty beneficial. Bonus Doubler is always going to be an option with Lightning Breath because you can just have Distant Counter in that breath. Your slot A is open, so you could utilize that to make Tiki a big ball of stat essentially by giving her more buffs. And you could also use Darting Breath from Fallen Ike if you want to go with a speedy Tiki but you still want to have a breath effect for the special acceleration. You could use that with Rouse Attack Speed or even with Attack Speed Oath with something like Kestrel Stance. And you could also use her in Aether offense. Of course, Astro Season is going to be a bit more annoying for her. Light Season is where she finds her home in my opinion because she does have good matchup against Yune and Hell. She can also deal with Bramimont with Null Follow-Up. Null Follow-Up is basically gonna be a necessity if you wanna deal with Bramimon with any kind of tank in the light season, so I would definitely recommend that. And if you have Near Valuria, then this is definitely gonna be a go-to option for you. So you could run Pulse Smoke and definitely combo it up with a solo skill or a stand skill. You could also run Attack Speed Solo in the Sacred Seal slot to give her some more attack stat, because Lightning Breath's might isn't the highest, so Tiki is not going to be hitting the hardest, so that route could be used to have a basically mixed phase Tiki, so she could go in, Pulse Smoke down the team. Attack Speed Solo is going to be active in both phases, and the extra attack can definitely be pretty nice for dealing with many of the bulky units. Because Lightning Breath does have Distant Counter, we could also utilize something like Attack Res Unity, which is incredibly good in Aether offense, so that could be used with Null Follow-Up. Null Counter Disrupt is not going to be preferable because you're going to be facing Bramimons of course, so Null Follow-Up is going to be helping you a bit more, but still Null Counter Disrupt can be an alternate option if you are going to be following up Winter Tina. And finally, if you want an expensive build, then you could also go with Blackfire Breath from 5-star locked seasonal Degency. It's not gonna be better than Pale Breath in my opinion because debuff negation is really strong in Aether offense, but still it's an option nonetheless because it does have lull attack resistance built into it essentially. It does require the solo condition, but that's not really hard to meet in something like Aether Raids.
Ban Ban said, "You look very nice, Tiki."
Other Gen 1 dragons which are easily accessible like Noe and Faye got really fantastic weapon refines, but Young Tiki got the short end of the stick because she got her weapon refine early on. So this is what I would change for her weapon refine if I was in the control. So I would have the dragon effectiveness of course, and I would actually have a self-healing effect similar to Legendary Self. Renewal isn't really all that good, So she's gonna be healing 7 HP per attack, and this can really help her with the longevity, and she won't really need to run a healing special in many cases and could just opt with like Bonfire. And then for her weapon refine, I would simply have more flexible condition where she just needs to be within 2 spaces of an ally instead of it being specifically sword or a dragon ally. I do understand it's a reference to Marth and Bantu, but still, like, just to have the flexibility, it's really good. And it's gonna be giving her +4 to all of her stats, and it also has attack defense unity built into it, so that could definitely help her quite a bit. Debuffs are pretty common, and unity skills are really strong skills, honestly. So I would just give her the attack defense unity part, so she could basically utilize that if she gets debuffed on her attack or defense, and the extra +4 stats can definitely help a Gen 1 dragon like her. So let me know what you think about the Siri craft in the comment section down below, and I hope you all enjoyed my Young Tiki review. Make sure to share this video with your friends who are thinking of building her up or are just excited about her Resplendent version. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support, and if you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as adult Tiki fans after getting absolutely no love in past few years. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.